source of wealth that a black family has, if they have it, is home ownership. And more black people have lost their houses in the last 2 years than since slavery. In the last 2 years, if they got $1 trillion or 14 trillion to bail out the banks, they got 14 trillion for decent housing for our people in communities all over this country. What about the black community? Look at all the people that are unemployed. Come to one of our meetings on a Thursday night, and people will come there and say, help me find a job. More black people have lost their jobs in the last 2 years than in the previous 20 years. We got what they call structural unemployment. Whatever the national figure is, our figure is twice that, 3 times that in the urban areas, 4 times that among black youth. We don't have no 10% unemployment. We got 50% unemployment rates in black communities all across this country. If they got $4 trillion for war in Afghanistan, they got $4 trillion for jobs at a living wage for every person that is unemployed in this country. Don't tell me there's no money. There's no money whenever they talk about the needs of the people. But when it comes to their needs, it seems they got unlimited amounts of money. Unlimited amounts of money for war. Unlimited amounts of money for whatever it is they want to do. And let me tell you something. The same thing that they are doing in Iraq, the same thing that they are doing in Afghanistan, they're doing it right here in the black community in Washington, D.C. They got an occupation force in Afghanistan. They got an occupation force right here in D.C., and it's called the D.C. Police. They got an occupation force in Newark, and it's called the Newark Police. How else can you hold a system of oppression in place without the use of force, without the monopoly of force by state power? That's how they hold it in place. How did they keep us enslaved? They kept us enslaved with chains and guns and horses and dogs. And today, that same force keeps us oppressed. Every day across this country, every day, President Obama, every day, black people are being shot down in the streets like dogs. Don't go over there talking about democracy in Africa. How can you talk about democracy in Africa? We don't have no democracy right here in the United States of America. Stop going over there to the Mideast. Stop going to Africa. Stop going to Asia, telling their people how to run their business, and we don't even run our business here in this country. Right here, not in Africa, not in the Congo, right here, black people are being tortured in police stations in Chicago and in Orange. I'm not talking about what I read somewhere. I'm talking about the victims that I have known and their families. Right here, a black man can't even get to jail. We talk about lynching like it's something that was happening in the past. They lynching black people every day in communities all across the United States. And it's just that the uniform ain't white anymore. The uniform is blue. And it may not necessarily be white policemen. Black policemen are doing it too. And we need to point that out, because that's really white power in blackface. They're shooting our people down like dogs. Shaka Nance never made it into the police car. They beat him to death. Warren Lee on the corner of Vanderpool and Sherman in Newark, New Jersey, never made it to the police car. Bashir Farrell on the corner of Tillinghast and Clinton Place, beaten to death, never even got to the police car. We can't even get to the jail anymore. They're killing us in the street. And I'm telling you, if they keep doing it, there's going to be an explosion in communities all across the United States. We remember what happened during the 60s. How can we forget almost every rebellion? And there were more than 1,000 rebellions, not 100 rebellions. That's why people thought there might be a revolution in America. There were 1,000 urban rebellions in the United States between 1960 and 1972. More than 1,000. And almost every one of them, bar none, was triggered by an incident of police brutality. And some of those weren't as bad as the incidents. I mean, how many bullets does it take to kill a black man? Is not one bullet enough? No, they shoot us down with 40 and 50 and 60 shots. It's not enough. When we fall down, is that not enough? No, they gotta walk up on us when our face is on the ground and shoot us in the back, shoot us dead like they shot Oscar Grant out there in Oakland, California. But the people in Oakland are rising up. You go out here and shoot somebody. You go out here and beat somebody down. You'll be in jail before sundown. You'll never leave the jail. You go from jail to court to prison. But they can shoot us. They can kill us with impunity. And then they get off with stuff like involuntary manslaughter. It was cold-blooded murder what happened to Oscar Grant. We in worse shape today in 2010 than we were in 1968 when Dr. King was killed. More black children are living in poverty. More black children and Latino children are suffering from hunger and nutrition. More black and Latino children are illiterate, going to substandard schools in this country than they were in 1968. More black and Latino people, twice as many, living in poverty today than in 1968. So don't tell me about no American dream. Talk about the American nightmare that Brother Malcolm X talked about. You put a black face on this and expect us to believe that we live in some type of post-racial utopia? I'll tell you what it is post-racial hell. That's what we're living in today, brothers and sisters. And all you have to do, you go to Newark, New Jersey, go to any fast food restaurant, you pull up to the menu board, and there might be a family of people there not asking you for no money, asking you to buy some food. I'm 56 years old. I was around in the 1950s, Brother O'Malley, when we lived in cold water flats, didn't have no heat. But we didn't have people living in the street like we living now. Like they lived in the 30s, people living under bridges, living under garbage bags. I'm telling you, they call it Hooverville in the 1930s. We're gonna call it Obamaville in 2010 if you don't do something about it. We didn't come this far. We work too hard. We want our children to have a better life than we have. Isn't that why we live? We live for our children so that our children can have a better world than we have. But what we're doing, we're looking around today and we're seeing that our children are going to have a harder time than we have. Why should any black, Latino, or even poor white youth, why should anybody have to die on the battlefields of Afghanistan just to get a scholarship to go to college? There's enough money in this country to provide a free college education for every student in this country. Why should parents have to mortgage their home 2 times, 3 times just to get their children through college? There's something wrong with that. Don't you understand that there's something wrong with that? It's not like this in France. Why should senior citizens have to get on buses in Detroit to go to Canada to buy their medicine because they can get it for 10% of the price that they would have to pay for here in the United States? That's wrong. We should have universal health care to provide health care and medicine for everybody in this country. Canada is a much poorer nation than us. They have universal health care. We want some action. We want some action on our issues. They wrote a bill to give the bankers $1 trillion. The bill was 12 pages long. You want a little piddling increase in Medicare or Medicaid and Social Security. The bill got to be thick as a telephone book, and then you still might have to march and petition. That's not government of the people. That's government of the capitalists, by the capitalists, and for the capitalists. They're showing you every day in 1,001 ways that this is their system. But I'm not a mule. I'm not a donkey. I'm not a tool. I'm a human being, and I'm going to fight for the rights that we have as human beings, brothers and sisters. We're not going to sit passively by and let this happen. I know some of you been out here fighting a long time, but don't give up, brothers and sisters. Keep fighting. Our struggle is a just struggle, and we must fight until victory is achieved. Power to the people, brothers and sisters.